there's clearly that understanding that, you know, we're not going to be the most talked about team, but nobody cares. You can really feel this internal belief with the group. That's the thing that's able to, like, catapult teams to the next level.
Tough to beat. 111 wins is a lot, but, you know, we came up short. So obviously the #1 goal is to win a World Series, and so we'll see how this year plays out.
Look at the successful teams in the past. I think a lot of those teams have young players or players that you weren't expecting to be impact, play better than what they were supposed to do on paper. And I think that's something the Rockies are capable of doing.
With Michael Conforto and Mitch Haniger to our starting rotation of Stripling and Manaea, I think we made some great changes, some great adds. At least on paper, I think we're better than the 2021 team that won 107 games.
We couldn't wait to see Tatis coming back and show what he got. He's just amazing. Having Sander too, he's just incredible team. I've never been on a team this talented, and I think it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Always smiles there in Southern California. Okay, well, always entertaining. The NL West has belonged to the Dodgers for the last decade. With 9 division titles, 4 100-plus win seasons, 3 pennants, and a World Series title, the dynasty has been established in SoCal. But is it in jeopardy of ending this season? Well, for more on that, here's Matt Vasgersian with his NL Showcase for 2023.
My showcase in the National League involves what is, for me, the best rivalry in baseball.
Jake Cronenworth sends one into the Crown Zone, and the Padres win it 5-4 over the Dodgers.
Sorry, Red Sox, Yankees. We've seen that movie a number of times. The best rivalry in this sport now is in Southern California between the Padres and the Dodgers. Rare is the year when the San Diego Padres put more players in the All-Star game than the Dodgers.
Swung on and missed. Musgrove gets through 6.
It happened in 1985. It's happened a couple of times throughout the course of history.
From San Diego, number 9, Greg Neto. Number 16, Terry Kennedy. Number 31, Lamar Hoyt.
But the payroll and the roster that the San Diego Padres are putting out there is a virtual National League All-Star team.
Padres walk it off!
And maybe this is finally the year that the Padres get over the hump that is 2.5 hours north of them.
And Profar just went flailing at it.
111-win Dodger team last year, lost a lot of firepower in the offseason. Los Angeles is always going to be good, and they're always going to be considered the team to beat. But maybe this is the year that San Diego finally gets over the hump.
Hey, listen, Matty V spent a lot of time there in San Diego, so he knows his Padres, as is this guy to my right. We will get to that in just a second. But see, where I want to get to right now. Let's talk about this. Are the Padres the team to beat?
You would like to think so. You see the money that they were spending in the offseason. You see that the Dodgers had a quiet offseason. So on the surface, I want to say, yes, the Padres have put themselves in a position to go out there and take over the Dodgers. But we can't forget, like, what the Dodgers are just coming off an 111-win season. Like, they still understand, even when they lose players, gain players, they understand how to play winning baseball. And, yes, you're going to have Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. But when you're the Dodgers, for some reason, Max Muncy's going to have a great year. He's going to bounce back. J.D. Martinez is going to have a great season. Guys that you're not thinking about, Miguel Vargas, James Outman, with talking to the Dodger players, these are guys that aren't really on our radar right now, but they're really good young players that you have to expect. If they come out here and can hide them in the bottom of the lineup, they can bring some depth to that offense, and then you still have Urias, Kershaw, Dustin May coming back, which a lot of people are excited about, Pepio on the back end of their rotation. I feel like the Dodgers, although they don't look that strong on paper, they know how to play winning baseball, so you can't count them out too early.
Yeah, you're talking about recency bias. Mm-hmm. Isn't this the same Dodgers team that lost to the San Diego Padres in the DS? You were there in person.
That's right. Look, the tide has turned, if you've asked me. The Dodgers aren't going anywhere, and you've got great points. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. They have been the class, not taking anything away from what Dave Roberts and company have done. But let me tell you something. The energy is down south now. When you go out and slay the dragon like they did in the playoffs to go in advance, you have now set the tone for, like Matt Vasgersian says, the best rivalry we have in the game potentially is in Southern California. The Padres add Xander Bogaerts to the mix. Let me tell you, though, what I really believe in San Diego is what's going to have to happen, and we'll start the tape. Blake Snell, Joe Musgrove. These two guys really turned the tide last year down the stretch and carried the Padres. You're going to see here Blake Snell, sometimes the command can get away from him, and that's the only way, see why he ends up getting hit, is when he just gets behind and doesn't really throw strikes. We all saw who he was in that Dodgers start. many playoffs ago, and you'll see right there's a lot of different pitches and him just not commanding the ball. Watch what happens when this left-hander is on top of his game. He makes guys swing and miss at an incredible rate and can dominate any lineup. For the Padres to take that next step and slay the Dodgers, Blake Snell will do a lot of this right here against Freddie Freeman. Command the baseball and be a front #1 starter like we've seen in the past. Also, it goes to this number 44. We all saw what he was in the playoffs. He had an incredible year, and he's just been year after year taking steps forward in his maturization as an incredible big leaguer. I can't tell you what it's like for me to watch number 44 do this thing in Petco Park. This was awesome, CY. The world got to see who Joe Musgrove was on the biggest stage. This is a Game 7. Life's on the line. He executed at a very high rate in a hostile environment against the league's best-hitting team, potentially. And you see here, that breaking ball was filthy. And can we put this for rest once and for all? Joe Musgrove is a hard-working guy, and he does things the right way. I know this personally for a fact. Come on out. Check my ears. Yes. Watch the big boy. Look at the look in his eye. Just staying focused, and just so you know, I don't have anything on the ball, and I can still make it do this. Come on the scene, 44 Joe Musgrove. Sometimes you got to let them know. I got no problems with that. If the San Diego Padres are going to do what I told you, Blake Snell, Joe Musgrove will be #1 high-end starters. Show me some passion, Joe. Where's it at? Watch this. Yeah. When you throw 7 on the road, and you're taking your team to the next round of the playoffs, you had that kind of passion and energy. These San Diego Padres are riding big energy. I think this is their year. They're atop the National.
And we would be remiss if we don't mention. We got Soto, who's probably the favorite right now for MVP. We got Tatis coming back. We got Bogarts. I mean, we arguably got probably the best 1 through 4. Manny Machado, let me not forget about him, 1 through 4 in baseball.
Put a ring on it.
They're going to be a handful for a lot of offenses out there. I mean, these guys right here, when you have to deal with these guys, Jake, back to back to back to back. Yes, we're not only talking about sluggers. You're talking about guys who can go out there and get their base hits into the pitching staff that you talked about. These guys are going to be so disgusting this season. And Dodgers, they know that, and they're going to go in ready to go.
And we know they have the leadership in the clubhouse, but let's not forget about the acquisition of Nelson Cruz, who knows what it takes to win.